Here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Welcome back to the PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn. Once again, my buddy, Mr. Fred Breyer.
Thank you, Michael Horn. We're talking about what we would like to tell Mitt Romney before the debate tonight, and we heard from Donald Trump last segment, and this is Newt Gingrich on with Greta Van Susteren from her show On the Record. By the way, Mike, Greta's looking pretty good lately.
She is looking good.
I do think I think it's probably the debate season.
You think that's what it is?
It does something to her. Kind of like
she gets really charged up. It looks like.
She gets flushed. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
She could be on after the debate, from what I hear. It should be interesting. I like the debate season.
Yeah. So here's Newt Gingrich giving some advice.
I think it's a very clear-cut situation. Romney has to go in and be very clear and very factual and stick to his grounds. He's got to recognize he's up against the incumbent president of the United States. Obama will try to overawe him. And I think Romney's got to be able to stick straight in there, not flinch, not back off. Then he's got to recognize he's going to be double-teamed. The fact is Jim Lehrer is part of the cultural left. So Romney's going to have to communicate past Lehrer and past Obama to reach the American people. If he does that, I think he could have a very good night, and I think you could see a very different race by Thursday morning.
See what's interesting here? See how Newt talks to you? He's always talking to you like you want to hear it. He's always telling you that Jim Lehrer. You have to understand that he's part of the cultural left.
And he is. Fred, there was a tape that came out. As 2007 Barack Obama speech where he sounded like he's a homeboy back in in the ghetto talking to his homies, and he's got this accent that he's never used since that time. For 40 minutes he talked that way, and there are pieces of that tape that were never released to the press that got released. Now, last night that was released on some news show on the Drudge Report. They released it, and so I taped news reports on NBC, CBS, and ABC. Where they led when there was a tape of Mitt Romney talking to his supporters, saying that he's got to appeal, that 47% are going to do whatever they want to do, and he's got to get the middle ground. Do you realize that only NBC and Conan Nolan on the local report mentioned that tape and talked about it and showed the website? There was not one mention of that tape on CBS or ABC.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's your bias in the media. If people don't realize it, it's right there for you, right in front of your face.
Yeah, and what I love is Newt brings it right out to you, just like he did on his debates with the other guys during the primaries. And that's what has to happen. That's all a part of the spirit of how we want Mitt to talk tonight. He's got to do it. Now, on the Sean Hannity show, this is Sean Hannity putting his 2 cents in.
But here's the deal. The president, Romney, this is a big opportunity for him. I don't think this president has ever taken a verbal punch. And I think if I'm right and he's arrogant, somebody hits him with a left hook verbally and then continues to jab him on his failed policies, he is going to react and it will be visible. I'd like to see Romney do that.
And it is a target-rich environment, that Obama record.
And it's going to have to be Romney because the moderators won't be doing it.
Well, it's got to be Romney. Romney needs to know that going in. And I'll be honest, if he doesn't hit as hard as he hit Newt in the Florida state, I'll be angry.
Listen, he has to take the offense. He has to anticipate Obama's bogus counterattack and refute him before he even makes them, such as Obama's comment that when I didn't realize this economy was as bad as it was. Go back to 2009. He said it was the worst economy, worst crisis ever.
2008, that's all.
But also 2009.
Yeah, see? Now we're getting it. See, what's fun, folks, is that you people out there, citizens of this country, have an uneasy feeling that you sometimes feel all alone, that nothing is discussed, nothing is covered. You turn on the news, and the only conversation coming to you, it comes from Fox News, and therefore the criticism is, well, of course it's Fox News. It's Republican. It is conservative. It's extreme news. We don't cover it because we cover news that is fair for everybody, and so the frustration that we have is it continues to build and build and build until you get someone like Newt Gingrich, Donald Trump, Sean Hannity, Alan West, and Paul Ryan certainly, and all of them now have to come out and not be afraid to say what Newt just said, what Sean Hannity said, what Donald Trump said, and go right at the American people. Remember, this is a debate that as questions are posed, the President's going to lead off, and the last question will go certainly to Mitt Romney, the challenger. And but in between this hour and a half, Mitt has to hold the narrative. He has to understand that how he speaks to the people, how he comes out and says, this is what you've been seeing. This is the reason you haven't been hearing the truth about me and about what's going on in this country. And for you people out there who are stuck trying to decide what's going on in the world today and why voting for me is critical, you have to understand that I'm going to talk to you this way. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on and not be afraid to do it. And by doing it, he provides leadership, Mike Horn.
Exactly. He's got to start taking the initiative. That's what they say were the great moments in the Reagan debates, is when he took control.
Yeah, that's right. And so I'm thrilled that the American people. I honestly believe this. I talk to a lot of people, as you do. I listen to a lot of things on the radio on both sides of the fence, and when I look at this, I say to myself, I wonder how many people in America are looking at this saying that's BS. I wonder how many people in America are saying, why can't people see what's going on? How could there be so many dumb people in America? How could there be so many people that don't understand what's at stake? How come there's so many people that don't know anything about the Constitution, the Founding Fathers, or anything else about this country? What's at stake, and what does freedom mean? Freedom, does that mean you can watch 700 channels at home? Well, that's kind of freedom, but that's not what we're talking about. So when we come back, we've got a couple more sound bites to go through, and they're very, very good. So stay right where you are, folks.
PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. We do the show live Wednesdays, everybody. Tune in at 4 o'clock Pacific Time, 7 Eastern, at replay throughout the weekend. Email Fred Dryer, incoming at crni.net. That's his email address, incoming at crni.net. The PM Show with Fred Dryer continues on CRN.